Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GRE. We have been solving GRE math questions out of this book here, the official guide to the GRE, the revised general test. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 239, page 239, and today is our lesson number 127. We are dealing with the notion of circles. What we learned yesterday equation of a circle. That's what we're dealing with. Just what we learned yesterday. We learned that the equation of a circle with center 0, 0 at the origin and radius 3 is x squared plus y squared equals 9. That's what we learned. What we're going to do now is, we are going to pick it up. He's sitting right here. He's sitting right here nicely. He's happy. Right here. This is 3. From here to here is 3. This is 3. This is 3. He's sitting right in the center with the radius of 3. We're going to pick it up and move it to the right. 6 units. So let's do it. Let's pick up the thing and move it, see what happens. Right here is the center. Why can't I draw a proper circle? This is 3. The center is a 0. Up to here is 3. We're going to go another 3 units, and this thing is 6. So this is going to be a circle. It has been moved. It has been moved from 0 to, let's call it C for center. Let's not call it C. It has been moved 6 units, as you can see clearly. Because from here, from 0 to the edge here was 3, and then from here to here is 3. So the new center is no longer at 0, 0. It is at 6, 0. The coordinates of these things are 6 and 0. The x coordinate is 6. It has been shifted by 6 units. As a result, whatever values of y that occur before, whatever values of y that occurred, it should be past tense, before, for a given values of x, the same values of y will now take place for values of x which are 6 more than before. 6 more than before. 6 more than before. For example, before when x was 0, y was positive 3 or negative 3. As you can see here, when x is 0, when x is 0 along y-axis, x is 0 along y-axis, when x was 0, y was positive 3 or negative 3. Now, the same values of y will take place when x is 6, right here. X is 6 at this point, right here. And the same values of y are going to take place. What took place here is going to take place here when x is 6, right here. One more time, I'm going to point with the stick so my hand doesn't come in the way. Before, x was 0 along y-axis. When x was 0, y was positive 3 or negative 3. Coordinates of this point are 0 plus 3. The coordinates of this point are 0 minus 3. Now, the same values of y will take place when x is 6 more. Why 6 more? Because we have picked it up and we have shifted it 6 units to the right. So this is going to be, instead of 0, 3, it's going to be 6, 3. Instead of this being 0, negative 3, it's going to be 6 and negative 3. You see? It has been shifted. The equation of this new circle, now we have to adjust for it. We have to do something about it. Listen very carefully because we're getting very close to the payoff, the punchline. Before, the equation was like this: x squared plus y squared equals 9. But now, because of the fact that each value of x is 6 more than before for a given value of y, I'm going to say it one more time. Now, because of the fact that we have picked it up and shifted it to the 6 unit to the right, therefore, each value of x is 6 units more than before for a given value of y. Therefore, we have to take 6 away from the x to compensate for the fact that it has gone up by 6 units. We're going to take it away by subtracting 6 from it. Voila. This is the new equation. Now this circle has a center at 6 and 0. Why 0? Because we made no adjustment for y. We have no adjustment for y. But notice the center is at 6, positive 6, even though here it shows up as negative 6, which is precisely why it shows up as negative 6, because the center is at 6. It has moved by 6 units to the right. So we have to subtract 6 from each value of x to compensate for it. For example, it's right here still. We're going to do it. We're going to do this here. What I wrote down here, we're going to do it here. It says, for example, before when x was 0, y was positive 3 or negative 3 in the previous equation. But now, the same value of y, positive 3 and negative 3, will take place when x is 6. We're going to show it here. When x is 6 here, 6 minus 6 equals 0 plus y squared equals 9. 6 minus 6 equals 0. So 0 plus y squared equals 9. That tells us that the y is positive 3 or negative 3. You see? Y is positive 3 or negative 3. Y is positive 3 or negative 3 when x equals 6. When x equals 6. Right here. When x equals 6, y is positive 3 or negative 3. Let's carry on. We're going to do something else with it. It's going to get a little bit more kinky. Now, let's take our new circle with center 6, 0. Pick it up and move it again, but this time move it down by 5 units. Move it down. We're going to pick it up one more time. We're going to pull it down by 5 units. And as a result, whatever values of x that occurred, twice I have spelled occurred with 2 R's in it. I hope I'm correct. As a result, before also I spelled the word occurred with 2 R's. I hope I'm right. As a result, whatever values of x that occurred, before for a given values of y, now the same values of x will take place when y is 5 units less than before. In other words, whatever value of x was when y was 5, that same value of x will take place now when y is 0. It's 5 units less than before. Whatever value that we find for the x before, actually I'm not sure it's going to go as high as 5 because the radius is only 3. I take that back. Let's say whatever value x was when y was, well, you get the idea. It's going to be 5 units less than before. That's right, I'm not thinking straight. It is 5 units. I was right before, because even though the radius is 3, it's been pulled down. That's the whole point. I'm losing track of my thoughts here. It's been pulled down. So one more time I'm going to read it slowly. As a result, whatever values of x that occurred before for a given values of y, the same values of x will occur now for values of y which are 5 less than before, because it's been pulled down by 5 units. For example, before, when y was 0, x was, let's find out, x was positive 3 or positive 9. I'm going to show you here. When y was 0, y is 0 here, y is 0 here or here. Oh no, this is the original one. We're talking about this circle here, not the very first one, the original one here. When y was 0, y is 0 here, y is 0 here, which means x is y is 0 along x-axis. We're talking about this circle first of all. We're dealing with this circle right now. When I said before, we're talking about this circle, not the very original circle. Let's erase this original circle. We're done with the original circle, because now when we talk about before, we're talking about this circle, not the very first one that we started out with. it is sitting at 6. This is 3, this is 6, this is 9, it's sitting here at the center of 6. Now, when y is 0, y is 0 along x-axis, y is 0 along x-axis. When y is 0, x was either 3 or 9. As you can see, x was either 3 or 9. Now let's see what happens. Now the same values of x will take place, same values of x, 3 and 9, when y equals -5. We'll see it here. We're going to show it here. We're going to shift it down by 5 units. I have to be reasonable. We have to be reasonable because from here to here is 3. So this is 3. This is 3. Let's call it 4 and 5. So it's been shifted down. The entire circle starts here, in the center somewhere here. That's your new circle. It's been shifted down by 5 units. Did I shift it down by 5 units? Before the center? Yes, no. The center here is 0. Center here is when y is 0. So now the center is going to be y equal to 5. Y equal to 5. This is going to be the center, and it's going to overlap. They're going to actually, if I try to draw it here, it's going to overlap by a little bit. This is your shifted curve. This one has a center of. This one has a center of. This one has a center of 6, 0. This one has a center of 6, -5. Let's see what the equation looks like for this new circle. The new equation of the downward shifted circle is going to be we're going to do it step by step, okay? Listen carefully. In the very beginning, the circle was very civilized, very straightforward. It was sitting right at the center. Then we picked it up and we shifted it 6 units to the right. As a result, you have to adjust x by 6 units. You have to take away 6 from x to compensate for the fact that every x is 6 more than before. Now, we're shifting it down by 5 units, which means every y value is going to be 5 less than before. Every y value is going to be 5 less than before because everything is pulled down by 5 units. To compensate for the fact that every value of y is 5 less than before, we have to add 5 to it. Voila. You have to add 5 to it. This is the equation. This is the equation of the circle with center +6 and -5. Whatever you see here, if it's -6, that means center it is a +6. If it's +5, that means it's -5, because that's how we're compensating it. Each value y is 5 less than before because it's sitting at -5, therefore we have to add 5 to each value of y. That's all. That's it. And that is what they show you there at the bottom of that page there, which is what we've been getting at for the last 3 days. They give you a small circle with the equation, and they just throw the equation at you. This is the equation of that small circle right here. The equation of the small circle, x minus 6 whole squared and y plus 5 whole squared equals 9. That's what they give you there. Now let's put the two circles together. No, I'm not going to put the two circles together. You can see it right there. The big circle is sitting right at the center with the radius of 10, which we talked about yesterday, and the small circle, we just talked about it, is not sitting at the center. It is sitting with at a +6 and a -5. That was it. Now we understand the equation of the circle. And this is the way it's written here, this is called the standard form of a circle, of an equation. And if the equation is not written in this form, then you have to manipulate and maneuver things around until it acquires the standard form so that you can visually tell what the center is. Here we can visually tell the center is positive 6 and a negative 5, and it has a radius of 3. Do you understand? Now, had this been, instead of a 9, had this been 7, it wouldn't have changed anything. It wouldn't have changed anything. In that case, it would have had a radius of root 7. But because it's 9, it has a radius of root 9, which of course is 3. You understand? That's all. We're done. We're finally done with this particular topic. Tomorrow we'll start the new topic that they have on the following page, on page 240, where all we have to do is simply graph the curves. Even though it sounds very simple, all we have to do is simply graph the curve. But knowing how to graph a curve is a entirely different story in itself. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.